Good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody is having a good week and ready to work. Have a few things I want to go over with everybody tonight, and then I'm going to give the upper ranks about 10 minutes or so of a couple other techniques, and possibly a little bit, touch on a few things on Heian Godan. White belts, yellow belts, definitely the white belts. You're welcome to participate in the first part. Once we get into the more advanced kata or some of the kicks, kata you're not welcome to play with. Kicks, if you want to try them, that's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We'll do some warm-ups and get a good workout going tonight. Go ahead. Okay. Show me. Read. Wait. Stick. Okay, read. Alright. So, as normal, let's go ahead and start with a few jumping jacks and we'll go from there. Ready? Begin. Ich, ni, so, shi, go, roku, siji, hachi, ku, ju, ich, ni, son, shi, go, roku, siji, hachi, ku, ju, ich, ni, son, shi, go, roku, siji, hachi, ku, ju, ich, ni, son, shi, go, roku, siji, hachi, ku, ju. Amen. Alright, spread your legs nice and wide. Not as wide as you can get them yet. Remember, we're just warming up. Relax as much as possible. Both hands over to one leg. Remember, breathe. Center. And to the other leg. And to the center. So if you can go down a little further. Not as wide as you can go yet. And walk it out, coming up on the toes. Let your hips drop. If you like me, let your back pop. Walk it back. Now, go down as low as you can go. Hold it there. Walk it in. And stand up. Have to straighten your belt, uniform, as needed. Alright. Legs about shoulder width apart. Go ahead, bend down, try to touch your toes. And up. And down. Try to go a little lower this time. And up. All right. as I am. Yeah. Hands on your hips. Feet just a little more than shoulder width apart. Alright, just go ahead. Rotate the hips around. And the other direction. Might just pick that up or not, but my knee just gave out a shotgun pop to me. All right. Hands on your knees. Rotate them around. Other direction. Alright. Arms out. Just hold them there. Excuse me. Bring them forward. Out to the side. And small circles. Not tiny, just small circles. Just rotating the shoulder. Get a little bigger. Nice big circles. And another direction. Come out. All right. All right. So, continuing with our warm-ups, we're going to work on, excuse me, Taikyoko Shodan to start with. Alright? Nice and slow. And if normally you would start here and this is your stance, I want you to go to here. We're not trying to do this with perfect kata stance. But I want it longer and stretched out. This is a stretch. This is a warm-up. I would not normally do my stance this long. Normally my stance is about here. Alright? I'll just add a couple inches to your stance. Get it nice and long. Now, the key to this is not to do this. And then when we do the next technique, no. Stay down. Alright, I'm going to start back as far as possible so I can stay in frame as much as possible. Alright. Yoik. Skate. Eat. Yoik. Taikyoko Shodan. Low and slow. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. She. Yet. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Son. She. Yet. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. And joy. First time I've tried that in a while was out in my brace. Interested to see how bad I was. All right. So, that is the kata. Same pattern. You're just working your legs more. Now this isn't going to do any good. That's not stretching anything. Push it out. Maintain good form. Doesn't matter whether I am in short fighting stance, kata stance, or stretching. I'm still in good form. Hips under. You're not leaning back, but hips under, body straight. Hips under, body straight. Now, the longer you get after a point, the harder it is to maintain the proper weight balance. Keep that in mind. And once again, I'm not saying do kata for test or class this way. This is just a warm-up exercise. All right. So, now that we're good and warm, legs are slightly stretched out, we're going to work on back stance for everybody. White belts, you don't have to have it yet, but you do need it once you hit yellow belt. And you have to have it down before you can go to your third kata. Your second kata is Taikyoko Sandan, which is Taikyoko Shodan, but instead of front stance down block, it is back stance, middle block. Alright? So, before we can learn that kata, we have to make sure we can do a proper back stance. Alright. Easiest way to do this. If you were in class, I would say find you a split on the floor where you've got a line going this way and a line going this way that come together. If you don't have that, some masking tape in a 90-degree angle, anything that makes a 90-degree angle like one of the blocks here. Cracking the sidewall. But the easiest way to do this, to make sure you are in the proper position with your feet. Alright, we determined that my horse stance is 2 shoulder widths across. Same as my front stance is long. Alright, so to get to my proper horse or to my proper back stance is slightly different. If I just turn here, then my weight is somewhere up here. I can't get pushed back enough to get the weight back here where it needs to be. So instead of just turning, I turn and pull just about the width of my heel. That's all it takes. So if I'm here, this is my Akita Dutch. Go to back stance. I just turn my heel in slightly. And then I can get my hip pushed back to where my hand will drop right at my leg. Now, I do not want this leg straight. Do not do this. Both should be bent. This should be bent a lot. This one slightly. Alright, in back stance, about 70% of your weight is on the back leg. Front stance, about 70% on the front leg. Now, as far as to which side of a stance which is, depends on where the weight is. If I am here, this is Hadari Zenkutsu Dachi, or left Zenkutsu Dachi. If I do this and shift to back stance, this is actually Migi Gokutsu Dachi, or right back stance. Weight is here on my right leg, right back stance. Weight is here on my front leg, front stance. Left front stance. Right front stance. Weight is on my right leg. Alright. So, now, we are going to attempt to go over Takioko Sandan. And when we get through it, I will go ahead and end class for the white belts. And I will do about 10 minutes, as I said, for the purple belts or green belts if they choose to watch. Alright. So, Yoi. Now, on this first move, I don't step here into my back stance. For one thing, that makes me too long. And my weight is here. I don't want my head to move. I want to drop straight down as this foot shifts out into back stance. Alright, let me get on in line. So I don't know if this is showing or not. I think it is. So Yoi. My foot stays right on this line, and I shift on this line between the black and the blue squares into back stance with a middle block, Chudan Uchi-Uki, here with left arm. So I move left arm, left leg. Ready, each. Make sure this arm is tucked around as much as possible. This arm, no more than a fist and a thumb from your ribs. Hand should not be higher than your shoulder. Weight should be on back leg without leaning. Now I will step through into a front stance, middle punch. Knee. Front leg, front hand, right hand. We'll turn. Shifting into a left back stance, right middle block. Each. And I will step through, front stance, middle punch. Knee. Now from here, it is just like Takioko Shodan, through the middle. You will turn using left hand, left leg to a front stance down block. Each. Remember, on blocks, in front stance. Back leg is bent slightly. Hand is not out here, tucked in. Step through, middle punch. Eat. Middle punch. Son. Middle punch, ki. Hit. Shit. From here, left arm, left leg move into a right back stance, left middle block. Each. From here, I will step through right front stance, right punch. Eat. Turning using right arm, right leg, I will turn into left back stance, right middle block. Each. From here, I will step through left front stance, left middle punch. Knee. Enjoy. We will do that much again. All right, remember, this is part of the yellow belt test. And if I follow Sensei Lewis and Sensei Allen, I believe, is going with it, it will be on the yellow belt test, not the yellow to orange test. Something I'm considering and we're debating between us. But I've already said that I will follow the majority just so we're all on the same page. So, this is an important kata. It is the first time your back stance is introduced. Now, keep in mind, when doing back stance, I'm not here. I have to be sideways. Belt is not pointing this way, belt is pointing this way. Alright, everybody's leg should be rested now. Yoi. Taikyoko Sandan. We'll move left arm, left leg into a right back stance, left middle block. Each. Step through. Right front stance, right middle punch. Eat. You will turn using right hand, right leg into a left back stance, right middle block. Each. Stepping through into a left front stance, left middle punch. Eat. Left hand, left leg move into left Zenguzu Dachi or front stance, left Gedan Barai or down block. Each. Step through punch. Eat. Step through punch. San. Step through punch ki. Yeah. Turning using left arm, left leg into a right back stance, left middle block. Each. Step, right front stance, right middle punch. Eat. Turning using right leg, right arm into a left back stance, right middle block. Each. Step into a left front stance, left middle block, left middle punch. Eat. Turning 90 degrees using left arm, left leg, just like in Taikyoko Shodan. Front stance, down block. Each. Step, middle punch. Eat. Step, middle punch. San. Step, middle punch, ki. Eat. Hit. Left arm, left leg, turning into right back stance, left middle block. Step into right front stance, right middle punch. Yeet. Turning, using right leg, right arm into left back stance, right middle block. Each. Stepping through into left front stance, left middle punch. Knee. And your way. Skate. Three. Your way. Alright. That is Taikyoko Sandan. White belt. I don't expect you to have it. Mason, I don't expect you to have it yet. But that is what I want you to be working on. Now, just because you have a new kata to work on does not mean that you get to forget your other kata, whether it is 1 or 5. You will always have to do all of your kata. They're already talking about my test coming up sometime. I don't know when, don't care. But I guarantee you, the first kata I will have to do is Taikyoko Shodan. Because if you cannot do that kata, there's no need to see any of the rest. That is what everything else is built on. That is the first kata you do, so therefore it should always be your best kata. Maybe not your favorite kata, but your best kata. Just like Taikyoko Sandan should be your second best kata. Because you've done it second only to Taikyoko Shodan. Now, and each one builds. Each one builds. We're going to run through Taikyoko Sandan one more time. And then I'm going to bow out the white belts and yellow belts. Everybody else, you're welcome to stay to work on the 2 crescent kicks. One is in our core curriculum, the other is not. And then, if I have time, I will go over a few points on Kion Godan for my purple belts. All right. Wait. Skate. Breathe. Wait. I have just did. Taikyoko Sandan. Back stance, middle block. Each. Step, front stance punch. Knee. Turning, back stance, middle block. Each. Step, middle punch. Knee. Turning, front stance, down block. Each. Step, middle punch. Knee. One. Chi. Hit. Turning. Middle block, back stance. Each. Step, front stance, middle punch. Knee. Turning, back stance, middle block. Each. Stepping, front stance, middle punch. Knee. Front stance, down block. Each. Step through, middle punch. Knee. Middle punch. punch, EI. Hit! Back stance, middle block. Each. Stepping through, front stance, middle punch. Knee. Back stance, middle block. Step through, front stance, middle punch. Knee. And yoy. Okay. Read. Yoy. All right. White belts, yellow belts. Work on that. Work on Taikyoko Shodan. Work on back stance. This is not a back stance. Turn narrow. It should be pointing this way. Belt this way, not this way. Something else to consider as I'm going to move in just a little closer. I'm in back stance. I know you cannot see my legs, but that's all right, or my feet. That's all right. This is the part I want you to focus on. If my finger is pointing directly to my side, I'm good. Now I'm not good. It's pointing this way. Here, I'm good. Here, guess what? I'm not good. Now my arm's getting lazy. Must bring back here. This is my hip. This is not my hip. This is not my hip. This is not a proper hikate or pulling hand. Must be turned over. That forces your elbow in, which allows you to come straight through with a punch instead of what we call chicken winging. Don't get me wrong, there are times for hook punches, but we don't throw them the same way boxers tend to. Different philosophy. And yes, Abdul, if you're watching, that is one of the things you still have to work on. All right, so that will conclude my white and yellow belt portion of this. I'm going to go ahead and bow you out, if you would. Yoi. Ski. Showman. Re. Yoi. Ski. Let's guy in the re. Yoi. All right, white belts, yellow belts, have a good night. I hope you enjoyed. Everybody else, as I said, we're going to work on 2 crescent kicks. One that is in Yandan, Godan, outside to in. We get the bob. Bob is approximately my height now. Now, as I said, this is like in Heian Godan. Here. Leg comes straight through, but I hit with this side of my foot. Comes this way, this way. Hence, crescent kick. It makes a crescent shaped arc. And you're hitting at the top of the arc. So, I don't want to go. As I'm coming up, no power. I want to have my hips turned and be at the apex of my kick. Here. I just barely kick. Bob passed out. Alright? So, as I said, this is in, hold on. Here, and keep the dots here. And I have grabbed back of head, back, and then I am taking my foot to my hand, which I guarantee you, even with your eyes closed, you can always find your hand with your foot. You may not always be able to find his head in the dark, or if you have something in your eyes without your hand. But if my hand is on the back of his head, no matter where he goes, my foot will go there. So, I'm here, I block. Now I throw the kick. Push with the back leg. Here. Right? Here. Pushing. Now, in the kata, we would step through. Here. But for the kick, I do not have to step through. I can always step back. Alright? This may be done to an arm. Not necessarily a good technique, but well, certain Koreans definitely like that technique. But depending on the situation, pressing kick may be used to the knee. Probably not, but I'm not going to rule it out. Typically, though, it is here to the solar plexus, or to the spine, which Bob has no padding here, so I'm not going to do this very hard. But I'm here, like this. And I'm hitting, again, this part of my foot, the instep, here. Here. Alright? Not with the side of my foot. So, let's do this with your right leg first. So your left arm will be extended and you will be in Kibadachi. We will be stepping back into Kibadachi. Ready? Each. Knee. San. Chi. Go. Rope. Siege. Touch. Two. Two. Alright. Switch sides. I'm turning so I can face the camera still. Ready? Remember, hips must turn. Each. Knee. San. Chi. Go. Rope. Siege. Touch. Whoa. Two. Two. And joy. Bob, leave the little on me. That's alright, I'll just move back. Alright. Purple belts, green belts, you should be familiar with that kick. Just a refresher. Excuse me. Now, as as I promised, the one that is not necessarily in our core curriculum. This is a leave-over from my Taekwondo days. It is actually one of my favorite kicks. I don't know if you're watching Alan George, but he can attest to that. All right. So for this kick, I'm here. But I'm going to use my back leg in a crescent kick that comes this way. Across, up, and over. It is not an axe kick coming down like this. It is a crescent kick that hits at the top of the arc, just like it does here. But I'm coming the opposite direction. So, here. Mr. Bob right in the head. So I'm here. Almost knocked Bob over. Don't want any more water on the floor. All right. So, here. This way. This way. This way. Does not matter. Body, ribs. Oh, this hurts to the ribs. All right. So, we are going to do 10 of these with each side, and then I guess I am going to have to let you go. But this is something that purple belts you definitely need to be working on, especially the outside to in, as in Ian Golan. Alright, so left front stance, and then Kumite no Kamae. You will be kicking with right leg, stepping back into the same stance. This is an example. Okay? Does not have to be head level. Can be body level. Alright. Each. Knee. One. She. Go. Rope. Teach. Hatch. Two. Switch. Now, using left leg. Remember, inside to out. Not this way, but this way. This way. Crescent. Ready? Each. Knee. Turn. She. Go. Easy. Hatch. Two. Anyway. Alright. I hope that gives you all a little something to work on. And I hope you enjoyed this little bonus. So, remember, Ian Golan. Ibadachi. No. Not scratching my arm. Not going here. Comes underneath. And then Ibadachi. Comes here. Pressing. Turns. And then I fire my kick to my hand. Not bringing my hand to my kick. Alright? That should give you enough to work on. Wait. Good. Show me. Feet. Wait. Gander eat. Have a good night. Thank you for joining.